Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
My name is Martin Blaise Nyaboho. I'm the Archbishop of the Anglican Church of Burundi, and I'm a member of the AACC Central Committee. I was requested to make a brief presentation on Burundi in matters related to peace and reconciliation. Because of the short time, I said, well, I'd better take two people as human resources. When I miss a point, they will support me. And second, I have some books with me. One is Burundi, la terre des héros enchantés, du crime et de l'impunité. It was written in 2003 by Hermenegilde Niyonzima, who was a husband to the deputy president from 2005-2007, Alison Zomukunda. In this book, you will see all the history, the pictures of those heroes who died, who were killed, who were assassinated in Burundi. So those who speak French, you'd better document yourself from this book. Second, I have another book written by Augustin Sanze, Dr. Augustin Sanze, who is a historian, the former Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation. This is Le Burundi contemporain, l'État-nation en question de 1956 à 2002. So if you want to know more about the history of Burundi, you'd better check from these two books. There's a picture here which is very meaningful in our history. This is a picture of the democratically elected President Melchior Ndadaye, who was assassinated 25 years ago on 21st October 1993. I don't know how it has coincided that I do this presentation when back in Burundi, people are mourning the death, the assassination of this great man. After his assassination, the Speaker of the Parliament, the Deputy Speaker, other cabinet ministers, other district commissioners were brutally assassinated the same night. And throughout the country, there were mass killings. It's the most political crisis that you have gone through for 3, 4, 5 years. So I would like to, though the ambassador did it, will you please stand up and honor this great man who championed for the democracy, peace and democracy in our country. As we stand, we remember also other Burundians, innocents, who were assassinated, who were killed. We remember those who spoke for peace, those who championed for peace. We remember the widows, the orphans. We pray for peace to prevail. We pray for stability to prevail. We join other Burundians today as they remember the assassination of this great man. Lord, in your mercy, hear our prayer. Thank you. Burundi is a landlocked country. Burundi is a full member of East African Community. It is bordered by the Democratic Republic of Congo in the west, by Rwanda in the north, and Tanzania in the east. Burundi is a small country, but beautiful country, 27,834 square kilometers. The population is estimated to be 11 million today, and the density is almost 374 inhabitants per square kilometer. Burundi is composed of 3 ethnic groups, namely the Hutus, the Tutsis, and the Twas. 90% of Burundi's economy is based on agriculture. Research today has proved of mineral potentialities in many parts of the country. Burundi has been colonized by Germans for 22 years and Belgium for 44 years. It became independent on 1st July 1962. From 1962 until 2005, Burundi has gone through socio-political instabilities. The introduction of democracy has faced many challenges. Just move to the current situation: security, politics, and economics. The security situation, in general, the country is peaceful. Security is prevailing. There is a free and secure movement of people and goods from one place to another. However, it's unfortunate that some criminals qualified to be terrorists are attacking sometimes civilians, like the attack which took place in June 2018, claiming 26 civilians who were killed and 7 sustained severe injuries. There is a tentative recruitment of youth to join Al-Shabaab movement, but there are preventive measures which have been taken mainly through different meetings between the Christians and the Muslims to see the way forward to stop and to prevent this recruitment. On the political side, we have now a new constitution which has been promulgated through referendum. Those who were just hearing that the President Nkurunziza is trying to change the constitution commented, interpreted that he wanted to change the constitution because he wanted to remain the president of the country until 2034, which is not true. First of all, the new constitution has brought a wonderful article, a new approach of the Burundian people towards the supreme creator. In the preamble, it says, "Nous, peuple burundais, conscients de nos responsabilités devant Dieu, conscients de nos responsabilités et de nos devoirs devant l'histoire et les générations futures, réaffirmant notre foi dans l'idéal de la paix, de la réconciliation et de l'unité nationale, conformément à l'accord d'Arusha pour la paix et la réconciliation au Burundi. Affirmant l'engagement du Burundi au respect du traité portant création de la communauté east-africaine, and so forth." That means now a president, when he's swearing in, he will hold the Bible, either the Bible or the Quran, when he's swearing in. That means God has been given a specific place in the hearts and the communities, in the minds of Burundian people, which is very good. Second, you should have a problem, with these secular politicians. They want to put God aside. Now the God is within the constitution of Burundi. The current president has officially announced that his term will end in August 2020. And that he said he's ready to support the new president who will be elected in 2020. So, the conflict which was around the 3rd, the 4th, the 5th, the 6th term of the president has to end now. The last round of dialogue between the Burundians is being organized very soon in Arusha, probably this week. The main opposition political leader, Honorable Rwasa, and two former presidents, Ntibantunganya and Ndayizeye, are very safe. They are doing their own businesses in the country. There has been a deterioration in Burundi's diplomatic relations with Rwanda. Rwanda is accused to have forced Burundian refugees into military training. The government of Burundi has already presented its complaints against Rwanda to East African Community, African Union, and the International Conference of the Great Lakes region. Thinking on their common political history, because Rwanda and Burundi share the same history under the same colony. So we need also to examine that with Rwanda, we have existing in-laws relations between Rwandese and Burundians. So it's my appeal that diplomatic relations between these two countries, these two sister countries, should be restored soon. In economics, you have heard that some international organizations have suspended their financial support to Burundi. This is imposing a negative impact on certain underprivileged groups, such as the poor, orphans, internally displaced people, and other vulnerable groups. Based on the following biblical text, I come now back home. Make every effort to live in peace with all men and to be holy. Without holiness, no man will see the Lord. When I was talking to the General Secretary, they say, well, the Free Methodists, the Methodists will hear me very well when I'm emphasizing here on holiness. Blessed are the peacemakers, because they will be called sons of God. It was said even this morning, peace I leave you, my peace I give you. I do not give to you as the world gives. Do not let your hearts be troubled, and do not be afraid. During the different crises in Burundi, church leaders have been involved through making either quiet diplomacy, prayers, shuttle diplomacy, and so forth. These are the pictures of some of the meetings we have had with different religious leaders. The Church of Burundi is leading an important role by engaging her members in the process of peace and reconciliation and in the search for sustainable peace. When I was elected Archbishop, I got a message from the Archbishop of Canterbury, and I want to quote, "You will know how committed I am to assisting in any way that I can in bringing about a return to peace in Burundi, and I continue to pray for your nation, for lasting peace, and a real political solution to the crisis in your country. The Church in Burundi has played such a pivotal role in reconciliation efforts over many years, and I know how important this will continue to be in your ministry as Archbishop, as will, I am sure, your background in community development and of the court, the Most Reverend and Right Honorable Justin Welby, Archbishop of Canterbury. However, each of the religious confessions, Protestant and Catholic churches, works with its own strategic plan to address the question of peace and reconciliation. To address this issue, in 2016, WCC, in collaboration with AACC, have organized a solidarity visit to Burundi, and a statement for peace and reconciliation was delivered to the government of Burundi and the religious confessions. In November 2017, WCC has paid a pilgrimage visit centering on peace and justice. The aim was to encourage Burundian women to work for peace and reconciliation. This delegation met vulnerable women female leaders, youth, religious leaders, and the ruling party, Women League. A second mission led by the Ethiopian Cardinal and Emeritus Archbishop Taban from South Sudan was organized. Arising from the meeting that was organized by WCC, it was concluded that there be collaboration between the Catholic and Protestant churches with regard to the process of enhancing peace and reconciliation in Burundi. As a result, Burundian religious leaders were able to develop together a strategic plan for peace and reconciliation. At the end of the conference, there have been different conferences. Religious leaders have committed themselves to work more for peace and reconciliation. In February 2017, WCC also has organized a meeting in Addis Ababa, whose aim was to discuss the question of peace in Burundi by engaging church leaders to work more for peace and reconciliation. With financial support of AACC, a workshop on awareness creation has been organized in Bujumbura a few weeks ago in order to prevent Al-Shabaab recruitment. In May 2017 again, WCC has facilitated a meeting in Arusha, Tanzania, as a follow-up to the resolutions of the meeting that had been held earlier by religious leaders in Addis Ababa. Arising from the above meetings, there was a formulation of a revised strategic plan to be used by religious leaders to contribute in search for sustainable peace in Burundi. I want to conclude with some challenges. It's more difficult, of course, to harmonize 730 religious denominations which are existing in Burundi now. There is a lack of adequate knowledge and skills in the area of peace and reconciliation among some religious leaders. Presently, we still have refugees who have to come back, and we need to make an appeal to UNHCR, the government of Burundi, and other government to help in repatriating those people. The economy is still fragile. There is need to increase strategies that promote the participation of women in the sphere of decision making. There is a high percentage of unemployed youth. This is a problem. There is also a problem of human trafficking. We have some opportunities. Burundians are tired of cyclic conflicts. We are looking for peace. Most of the politicians either attend church services or mosque prayers. There is I know the message you are giving me. There is an avenue for enhancing the spirit of partnership between government and religious leaders. The presence of the churches and mosques all over the country. Burundi has 80% of the population being Christians, and we have the Holy Scriptures. Church leaders, religious leaders are respected in Burundi, so we have a voice, we can play a major role. We would like to make some requests to AACC and other religious organizations to continue their partnership with Burundi religious leaders to promote sustainable peace and reconciliation. East Africa community to be more involved in accompanying the efforts of the government for repatriation, peace and reconciliation. International community to renew their commitment towards the financial support to enhance the economy of the country. We need also capacity building to more religious leaders. General supporters like ACC Act Alliance to accompany the socio-economic integration programs. And we need also to prepare ourselves to the 2020 general elections. We need financial support to implement our strategic plan. We need ceaseless prayers for a peaceful and reconciled Burundi. We need strong network of religious leadership, face and fight human trafficking which is going on. You can just join me because I'm saying Murakoze, Asante, Merci, and thank you.